Hey everyone and welcome back.
Yeah.
Today we are going deep on Bitcoin,
Oh, yeah.
but not how you usually hear about it.
Okay.
We're going to forget about the price swings
Yeah.
and all that,
Right.
and really kind of explore Bitcoin as a potential new monetary standard.
I like it.
So,
This is big.
yeah, we're talking big picture stuff here.
Yeah. This is fascinating.
We got two sources to kind of guide this deep dive.
Okay.
First is this summary of the Bitcoin standard
Mm-hmm.
by Guilherme Bandera.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
to shake things up a little bit,
Okay.
we've also got a preface
Okay.
from a work about building Bitcoin standard banks,
Interesting.
which is a pretty wild idea
Yeah.
when you think about it.
It is.
Yeah.
These sources, take us on a journey tracing the whole history of money
Yeah.
to make the case for Bitcoin.
So let's start with the basics
Okay.
before we even get to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
What problem is money even supposed to solve? It seems like such a simple question,
Yeah.
but you rarely hear anyone ask it.
That's true. We take money for granted.
Yeah.
At its core, it solves the problem of exchange.
Okay.
So without it, we'd be stuck bartering,
Yeah.
trying to trade our skills or possessions directly for things that we need.
Trying to barter your way through life.
It would be a nightmare.
Oh, it sounds like a logistical nightmare.
Exactly. Imagine you're a skilled carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
You need food. You need clothes.
Yep.
It would be nearly impossible to find someone who needs carpentry. A&D has the exact food and clothes you want. That's where money comes in.
Okay.
It's that universally accepted medium of exchange
Yeah.
that just makes trade so much smoother.
So it's like this shared agreement
exactly.
that these pieces of paper or these digital entries
Right.
in our bank accounts
Yep.
represent value that we can use to trade for what we need.
That's the essence of it, and this shared belief.
Allows for these complex economies
Yeah.
and specialization.
Okay.
You can be a great carpenter and know that you can use what you earn to trade for everything else.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, our sources point out
Yeah.
that money has taken some pretty interesting forms throughout history.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We're talking everything from shells and cattle to, of course, gold and silver.
The history of money is fascinating.
Yeah.
Early societies often used readily available commodities as money,
Okay.
like salt,
Mm-hmm.
cattle, or even shells,
Perfect.
because they were relatively scarce, durable, and recognizable.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting for me.
Okay.
Our source mentions glass beads
Really?
being used as currency in Africa.
Hmm.
That's not something you hear every day.
No, it's not.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so in certain parts of Africa,
Okay.
glass beads, often imported from Europe, held a significant value.
Wow.
They were beautiful, durable, and relatively scarce, making them suitable for trade in those societies. It just goes to show that the concept of money can take on so many forms,
For sure.
depending on the culture and the context.
Totally. What matters is the shared belief that a particular object represents value.
Okay, so our sources bring up this idea of weak money.
Okay.
And I have a feeling this is where things start to get a little bit tricky.
Think
Can you break that down for us?
of it this way.
Okay,
Remember the Roman Empire?
I do, yeah.
They kept debasing their silver coins,
Okay.
adding less and less silver
Wow.
until the coins were worthless and their economy collapsed.
Oh, wow.
That's weak money in action.
That's a pretty dramatic illustration.
It is.
So weak money is anything that can be easily overproduced
Yeah.
or manipulated, ultimately losing its value.
Exactly. If a government can just print more money whenever it wants,
Oh, yeah.
that money is going to be worth less over time.
And that leads us to the gold standard, which for a long time was considered the solution to the problem of weak money.
Exactly, the gold standard,
Yeah.
which tied the value of currencies to a fixed amount of gold, provided a level of stability that prevented governments from just printing money at will.
Because you can't just magically create more gold, right? And-
Gold is naturally scarce,
right.
which made it a reliable standard for money.
Okay.
However, our sources point out that even the gold standard wasn't perfect.
Right.
Governments, especially during times of war, found ways to abandon or manipulate the system to serve their needs.
And ultimately, the gold standard gave way to the system we have today, fiat currency.
Yes. Fiat currencies, which aren't backed by any tangible asset like gold,
Right.
became the dominant form of money. While they offer flexibility,
Yeah.
they're also vulnerable to manipulation, inflation, and capital controls by governments.
And our source brings up a pretty scary idea.
Oh.
Governments might use the transition to digital currencies
Oh, wow.
to eliminate the privacy of physical cash. Think about it. Every transaction you make could be tracked and controlled by the government.
That's a chilling thought.
Yeah.
It highlights the dangers of centralized control over money.
Yeah.
And this brings us to the heart of our deep dive,
Okay.
Bitcoin.
Okay, so we've gone through this whole history of money
We have.
to arrive at Bitcoin.
Right.
What makes Bitcoin so different
So
and potentially better than what we have now?
Bitcoin is fundamentally different from fiat currency.
Okay.
It's decentralized,
Okay.
meaning no single entity controls it.
Okay.
It's censorship resistant.
Mhm.
Transactions can't be easily stopped or reversed.
Yeah.
And most importantly,
Yeah.
its supply is limited
Okay.
and can't be manipulated by any government or institution.
So no more printing money out of thin air.
Exactly. Bitcoin is often compared to digital gold because, like gold,
Okay.
it's scarce. Its issuance is governed by a predetermined algorithm,
Okay.
and mining new Bitcoin becomes increasingly difficult over time.
Wait, stock to flow? For those of us who aren't economists, can you break down what that means
Sure.
and why it's important?
Stock to flow is basically a way to measure scarcity.
Okay.
It compares the existing stock of a commodity like gold or Bitcoin
Yeah.
to the amount being produced each year.
Okay.
Bitcoin's stock-to-flow ratio is similar to gold,
Oh.
making it incredibly difficult to inflate its supply.
So unlike governments that can just print more money whenever they want,
Right.
Bitcoin has this built-in scarcity
Yeah,
that's mathematically enforced.
that's right. And that's a major reason why many people view Bitcoin as a store of value that can protect their wealth against the inflationary tendencies of fiat currencies.
So it's like having a form of money that's as scarce as gold,
Yeah.
but can
yeah.
be transferred instantly anywhere in the world.
Right.
That's pretty incredible when you think about it.
It is. And that's why our sources argue that Bitcoin isn't just a technology.
Yeah.
It represents a potential paradigm shift in
Okay.
how we think about money and value.
Hold on, because our sources go even further. They suggest that adopting Bitcoin
Oh.
isn't just a smart financial move. It's a moral and pragmatic imperative.
Wow.
Now I have to hear more about this.
Okay. So they argue that Bitcoin offers a way to resist government overreach and protect your wealth from financial instability.
Okay.
Things that are becoming increasingly important concerns for people around the world.
Yeah.
They even go as far as to say that Bitcoin is the only real private property today.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's a bold statement.
it is.
I'm really curious to unpack that idea further.
Okay.
But first, let's take a quick pause to let all of this sink in.
Sounds good.
When we come back,
Yeah.
we'll explore the potential impact of Bitcoin on the world
Okay.
and how it could shape the future of money.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Stay with us.